do do do. Hello everybody. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? I'm feeling a bit, what's the word? I'm feeling a bit sort of like deflated, I guess is the word. A bit tired, but what can you do? What can you do? Got stuff to talk about, got places to be, got people to talk to, I guess. I don't know where. I sort of start those conversations and I don't really know where I'm going with them. Anyway, yeah, plan for today. We're gonna play the new weapon disfigure, which I don't even think I actually spelled correctly. Nope, but I'm gonna keep it like that. Screw it. We're gonna use the new weapon in disfigure. I've had a quick use of it, and it's incredibly good. I think either I've gotten significantly better in the time period that I've gotten significantly better over like the last week or so, or these weapons are more powerful. They get more powerful. That's my thinking at the very least. We'll see. You can come to your own conclusion once we start. But yeah, I got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we've got what we did last week. But I have a couple of other things to talk about that I think are probably going to be talking a lot more about than what we did last week, because I don't think we did anything incredibly notable in last week. Like, for example, I think Monday we just played some like battlegrounds or something. I could be wrong. I tell you what, I'll have a look. Yeah, oh no, we did a New Year wrap up last time. I remember that. Okay, that was actually pretty good. That was pretty good. I still haven't started that New Year's blimmin', the New Year's resolution I came up with, though. I will say that. Because I remember my New Year's resolution was like, hey, dingus, why don't you blimmin' talk to your friends more? Actively talk to your friends more. Haven't done that. But I'll get to it. I'll definitely get to it. He says, definitely not lying. You know, it's how like 50% of blimmin' New Year's resolutions go anyway. Realistically, a lot of New Year's resolutions that I start, I only succeed if they happen to coincide with what I was doing. But yeah, it's not just a new weapon, by the way, in Disfigure. There's also a new what you call it, new like upgrade path. Like, it seems like this is the mindset they're going for at the moment, is kind of alternating between them. You know, like going like, well, not alternating between them, sending out one of each every time they do an update. So it's like weapon and upgrade path, and then normally they do some change to a previous existing upgrade path. Like, I think they changed some of the light what's the word, light meteor upgrade path. You know, you know what's weird is I've tried a couple of bullet heavens now since I started this. Obviously, we tried 20 minutes until dawn, and I've tried Vampire Survivor, and I still come back to this one. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the fact it's free, even though realistically I've bought them, so that shouldn't be a big thing for it, or whether it's just that I don't know, I find more fun from them. And this one just has an aesthetic that makes it not too overly complicated to get into, but also not too like simple that it gets boring too quickly. Because I found with the 20 minutes until dawn, having a load of fun, and then I got to a point in it where I had unlocked a bunch of the characters, and I didn't care for any of the guns I hadn't unlocked, and so I was just like, I'm done. There's nothing I want to do. Whereas I've come back to this figure. I've come back to this figure before and gone like, yeah, let's start again. Let's do more. You know, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's switch over. Just so that I don't have to have these two screens on. Perfect. There's me. Looking lovely. So yeah, here it is. It's the GAUESS Katana. So what it does is it fires a piercing slash. And this perfect slash, I didn't know about this, but it's effectively if you don't attack for a certain amount of time, you see something light up, and that's the perfect slash. So like, you know how before I was trying to get like hard wins on like either the first map or like just wins on the second map. Now I can get wins on this map as well. I don't know. I actually don't know if Perfect Strike is what I said it is. I thought I figured it out, but I actually might think it might have been a different ability. It might have been this wind-up strike, which is increasingly becoming my favorite thing to take. It doesn't look good now, but believe me when I say, you take this, you take like Doom rounds where like every time you get a kill, it like it bumps up the next damage you do. And then you just start stacking damage, and then every hit does a kill. Wow, that was the worst thing I physically could have done. It's fine though. This is warm-up, obviously. And then you just sit there, like, endlessly killing stuff. And then you take a ricochet, or you take a shrapnel, or you take a piercing in some cases. Although I'm not really I don't really go for the piercing one. But yeah, it's great. Ooh. Now let's just take Gleam. I like having vision, even if I should probably be taking damage at this point. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna talk about my week. Okay, right. First off, we had the wrap up, right? Always like doing one of those because it's sort of just like it makes me remember what we've missed, right? And I'm saying always like doing one of those, and I understand that it's like, why is he saying that? Because he's only been doing it for a year and a bit. So it's not as if he's had, like, many of them to do. He's had 2 of them to do, really. And it was really only 1 of them. But yeah, I do like doing it. I do think it I don't know. It also just sort of, like, is a good wrap-up for the year, you know? At least that's my thinking. But yeah, it was great. Then we played a bit of Disfigure, which was funny because we did it just before this update came out. Which shows that, like, oh look, hitting with a perfect slash, I don't understand. I just take more damage. But yeah, it is funny that we played some more Disfigure just before the patch came out. But yeah, I always like doing one of those kinds of things. I think it's going to be hard for me to get into the mindset of, like, of completing my New Year's resolution. Mainly just because it is a huge jump. But luckily, I haven't chosen to, like, go off the deep end and choose something insanely hard to do that I have to start immediately. I think that's the big thing, actually. I think it's the fact that I don't have to start it immediately. Like, it can be a slow process. Whereas when you have ones like, I'm going to get in shape, like, the vast majority of people, what they'll do is they'll go like, Right, I've decided I'm going to get in shape. So, I'm going to start immediately with like a high intensity regime. You know? And I'm just like, that's not going to work. It's like when people go completely cold turkey when they're trying to get over like an addiction or something. It's like, I'm fully here to supporting you getting over an addiction. God damn, do I need to do that as well? But like, going cold turkey, it's just gonna mean that you're gonna bounce back. You're just gonna go back to using it again. It's just inevitable, right? But yeah, that was really fun. And then Wednesday we did some take more damage. Wednesday we did some more Baldur's Gate, which was interesting. I'm at this point in Baldur's Gate. I'm not overwhelmed anymore because we've had a couple of streams now where something insanely big hasn't happened back to back to back. But I am at the point where I'm a bit lost. I'm just exploring around and there doesn't seem to be like a home base. Whereas with the Moonrise Towers or whatever... Ooh, do I take shrapnel? I take shrapnel. With the Moonrise Towers, which I think is my favourite of the acts. I had the most fun with it at the very least. You had the base that was the Moonrise Towers, and then after that the base that was the last hope or the last light inn or whatever it was called. So there was always this sort of home base that you always went back to, and I don't feel like I've got that in this. But maybe it's because I'm pretty early on in it. And it'll change later on. I don't know. Either way, I was having a lot of fun on Wednesday when we were just sort of like dealing with sort of a self-contained quest. I think that's the thing that gets me, is the fact it was just a nice sort of self-contained thing. Ooh. I'll take this one. I actually find movement speed to be a bit more of a debuff. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the self-contained sort of vampire sort of storyline was quite fun. I will say I was talking about this with a couple of my friends, and I do feel like I obviously have missed out on something by not having a Starion on my team, because I didn't get to do like the major thing with him there. That obviously was his story. But on this, it does make me wish that I had that mod in that allows me to have everybody, just so that I always got everybody's comments. I think is really the big thing. Because occasionally I am like, oh, I wish I had this person, but I haven't spec'd them, you know? And I know it's like, oh, you just hit the level up button and it'll do it really quickly. And like, yes, that is true to a certain extent. But like, I don't have the right armor on them, I don't have the right skills with them. It's a bit of a hassle to switch between them. Ooh, I love this one. I have to show this one out. Look at this. It has a little animation where you effectively sheathe the gun. Well, sheathe the sword gun. It's so fun. I really like using this weapon. It just feels good. And they did a couple of changes to the animations of the melee weapons that just makes them feel. I feel like it makes them feel like there is a bit more weight to them, and I don't know, it gets me more into using the weapon. Do I want to use this? You know, I never pick it, so I'm going to pick Light Meteor. It's one of those ones, it's like Light Meteor and, Light Meteor and, like the one that puts a trail behind you. I just don't think I ever pick up. For better or for worse. But yeah, the vampire whole story thing, although I got a bit lost, and I don't know how you really could have figured out how to get into the hound thing if you fail the perception check. I will say that I do find it I did find the whole thing very, very fun. I love the fact that as like the last bit of spite that his master did, even though he was like, yeah, he's a great student and he's done it honorably for me. His last like bit of spite was to go, yeah, but I am going to put my memories in this skull in case anyone wants to fight you and wants to know about what you're doing. Which I thought was quite funny. It seems like a lot of what Baldur's Gate is, based on this sort of act of Baldur's Gate, based on what I've seen, is very much like... How do I say it? It's very much like who are you going to make a deal with to get yourself allies that are going to help you in your like final battle, seemingly. And it's like, oh, are you going to ally with the really bad people? And generally, I assume you get more powerful allies if you do, because or else the bargain wouldn't be as tempting, right? But I don't know, I'm kind of the opinion that I don't really think I need them, you know? Also, a lot of the bad guys aren't just bad guys, they're kind of just dicks as well. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that, like, if you're a bad guy in, like, a game or something, I'm less caring of, like, what you've actually done in a game. I'm more caring on whether you've been an asshole to me. If you're a nice guy to me, but you're an absolute villain, there's like a really good chance that I keep you alive. Or like, just decide to be a villain with you. Or it'll just be like that really weird blank space where it's like, yeah, the hero's just generally quite good and he's saved a load of towns. But he like really likes this one dude who definitely is massacring villages. Why is it? Oh, just the good guy was being a bit of a dick, but he's still in the right, and the bad guy was being not a dick at all. So I choose the person that wasn't being a dick to me, you know, that kind of stuff. But it'll be interesting to see if I'm tempted by anybody, because I was never tempted by the wizard. In fact, I don't even really think there was ever a point where I was like, oh, maybe he could be a friend. I just never thought about it. I'll take Cosmic Charts. This is how I have to fight when you're doing this, which is you don't ever shoot the actual boss because you constantly want to be killing something with your attacks. So instead you have to kill it via like ricochets and like explosions, which I think is really funny. And the thing is, like, I know this works because I've gone through this on hard doing this exact thing. See what happened when I got like one instance where I didn't hit the condemned target? I wonder if any of this stuff is going to get nerfed. I think Wind Up Strike is incredibly good. But that's just my personal opinion on the whole thing. I don't think on its own it's insane. I do think like stacking just damage onto it. It's just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But yeah, then it was Friday, and I'll be honest, I'm having so much fun with Final Fantasy XIV. I'd find Dawn Trail to just be such a chill adventure that like is such a sort of like whiplash, and I guess to a certain extent is what I kind of wanted, because when I looked at when I was playing through Endwalker, and I didn't mind Endwalker. It wasn't my favorite, but I didn't mind it. But the difference between it and Dawn Trail is that you start off Endwalker and it's already like, oh god, it's bad. Everything's bad. And I'm just like, and even Shadowbringers, you're just like, there's always this sort of clock on your mind where you have to do this. Obviously there's no actual clock and you could take literal years to complete the story and it wouldn't matter. But like in the story's narrative, there's this clock that is incredibly important. If you don't sort of follow it, like it's dooming a large amount of people, right? Whereas in Dawn Trail, it very much feels like, and it's true to a certain extent. It's like yeah, there's this important thing happening, but like there's no like huge rush for it. It's like yeah, sure. Somebody, they're trying to be king, and you've got to like help him, but it's like you can take your time. It's not as if you're rushing everywhere. I took Pierce. Oh, Pierce is a subsection. I forgot about that. I'm gonna take this because I've never taken this before. I want to take stuff I've not taken before. But yeah, like, I don't know, it's one of those ones where I'm just having a load of fun learning a culture. Learning the cultures of this multicultural blimmin' area. And I don't think I'm in the majority here. I think generally people don't like this expansion. I haven't looked into it a huge amount, but generally I just don't think people like this expansion. Whereas I'm here just going like, it's kind of okay. Better than kind of okay. I'm generally as like a end of the week kind of game. It's like it's perfect. I'm just sitting there going, yeah, let's chill at the end of the week and talk to everybody and like learn their story. Fire rate's doubled. Yes, please. That means even if I fail, at the very least, we have a second attack that we can do. But yeah, like, I've been having so much fun learning about the Vanu Vanu. Sorry, not the Vanu Vanu, the Hanu Hanu. And like all of their, like, their things with that. The villains I could take or leave it. Like, they're not incredibly compelling. Wooklamat, as effectively the protagonist, I think she's fine. She's like naive, but she's eager to learn. She's not incredibly arrogant. Like, they always play off the arrogance as just like a joke. And I don't find myself finding her like needlessly arrogant. She genuinely seems just helpful to, like, if anyone gives her advice, she's just helpful. I don't know. I find myself quite liking it. Every 3 purchase will cause 1 shot to be fired out. Kill 3 enemies with a single puff like to charge your next slash. No. This one's my favorite by a long shot. Let's do this one. This one's so fun. Look at this. But yeah, it's I've been having so much fun with it, and I would highly recommend it as just a casual thing to go through. And what I love about it is you kind of don't really need to know anything of the previous act. It is actually a kind of, if you're in that situation where you're just like, I don't want to play through 3, no, is it 4 expansions just to then play Dawn Trail, just to know everything? You kind of don't need to. Like a small refresher, like if you watch just to learn who the Scions are and like some basic information. I honestly think you could just go into Dawn Trail and just be like, yeah, but this is a cool new adventure. And as like a game that I'm exclusively playing, like I know it's an MMO, but I'm exclusively playing it as like effectively just an RPG, where there's just other people playing the same RPG around you. As a kind of game like that, I honestly find it really, really interesting and really, really good. We'll see how it goes later on, because obviously, to a certain extent, the stakes do have to get larger, right? I understand that it can't stay as it is forever. It can't be the chill adventure that I wanted. The chill adventure that was kind of implied for the patch quests, but obviously didn't happen. It's weird to say that like something related to a king of a country is like a chill adventure in comparison to what you were doing before, but it's true. They've done a big reset. But yeah, I've been having so much fun with that. I think it's become my favorite stream to do at the moment. I think this always will have a soft spot for me because it's what ideally I feel like my whole like stream ideology is, right? Which is just, let's just play something chill. Whatever we're feeling at the moment, and just have a nice talk, right? But I think I'm having the most fun out of all of the streams in the Final Fantasy one. And there were points in it, I'll be completely honest, in like Final Fantasy, where I was just sort of like, ugh, it's Friday, I guess I gotta do this, you know? But now, like, that never happens. And admittedly, that did start near the second half of the patch quests, because I just had a lot of fun with the patch quests. I had a little bit of a dip with the God stuff. Not that I didn't like the God storyline, it was the fact that I had to wait all that time, and so it just felt like the stream became, this stream is just this blimmin' trial, and I'm like, oh, I want to do all the stuff, I want to learn the story, and it's like, nope. It's just preparing you for the next trial. It's like, I don't even think I've done a dungeon yet. Oh no, I guess I haven't done a dungeon in the new place. And I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not like chomping at the bit because the story's really good. Ooh, we did well there, though. We did pretty damn well. Just a quick restart. Let's play again. We lost 2 lives at the very, very start. There's one. Oh god, that almost killed me. But yeah, having a lot of fun with that. Ooh. I think I'm figuring out what perfect strike is. Is it if you hit them in the actual start of the strike? Listen here, cat. I love you. I love you, Saf Saf. But I really need you to settle down or, like, get off. And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just true. Okay, okay. You're choosing there. Got it. Yep. You exist. Yeah, I know. You're a cutie. Yeah, it is. That's what perfect strike is. I've understood it. I've learned. Is this good? I don't think it is. Slowing down enemies seems decent. Fire rate, melee range? Sure, I like range. But yeah, like, that's been a huge thing. I was talking to my friends the other day, actually, about how I kind of want to figure out how... I really, really hope that, like, when they come out with the Final Fantasy XIV blimmin' TTRPG that I think was hinted at, like, last year, that they have some of the beast sort of, like, races in it. Some of the races that aren't really playable in the actual game. Because I really, really wanted to play, like, a Hanu Hanu after watching, like, going through their whole story. Like, I think that'd be really, really cool. Listen here, you're a cute cat. So yeah. But the thing I really wanted to talk about this stream, the thing that I'm like, I think was the big thing from last week, was that I actually finally had my first... Ooh, let's try this one. I actually had my first Pathfinder game, which I was really, really happy to finally do. And I had a bloody whale of a time. I had no complaints at the moment. Obviously, I made a couple of mistakes that I'm a bit annoyed with. For one, I was a bit annoyed with my... I thought, at least at the very start, I wasn't that good when it came to role-playing. There was a point in it where everyone was describing their characters, and notably, I just didn't describe my character. Which I just think was like a huge mistake on my part, and I think... I hope so. I hope I can rectify it in later stuff. But yeah, generally, I had a huge fun time. I think the system is, like, notably different One of my favorite things to do was to sit in front of an enemy and just raise my shield to increase my AC because you don't get it passively, and then just like sit there like good chance hitting me, you know, like good luck hitting me. I think it's weird because there's like with the 3 action system, it means you don't get a free move. But then you also are a bit more maneuverable because you have the ability to move twice if you wanted to. And obviously it was a bit of a slower game because everybody was, well, except for one person, everybody was learning the rules for the first time. So there were like mistakes, obviously, but I think generally, I think I'm just so hyped to actually just be doing any form of TTRPG. It's hard to say what part of it was because I'm really, really hyped to just be in anything, and what part of it's like it actually just being a very, very good system. I think I think it might be a bit of column A, bit of column B, because I do think the system itself seems very, very good. There is still a part of me that will always prefer D&D, and there are parts of it where I'm like, I don't like this, and I prefer the D&D's version of it. But the thing is, they're not big things. They're like I just prefer subclasses to class features. But then I'm on the flip side, I prefer background. I prefer racial feats than I do like backgrounds or like sub races. So I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like it feels like I'm being hypocritical by like going, I like this one but I don't like this one. But honestly, it's just I'm just talking from the gut. Right? That's my gut feeling on these things. You know, I feel like I took the extra projectile thing, but I can't for the life of me notice it at all. I mean, I noticed the damage decrease, but what are you doing, you little cutie? Enemies revealed in the vision take more damage, but enemies outside take less damage. Ooh. Is that good? Or do I just want shrapnel? Or do I want to reroll? You know what, we're taking this. All of those looked interesting, but they didn't spark joy. I wasn't like, oh, I want to use these. It was like, oh, yeah, I guess they're good. That kind of thing. But yeah, I was playing the halfling that we kind of have made a lot of on stream. Halfling fighter Cuthbert Copperbilly, I think it was. I feel like I have a type that I do now, which is weirdly like older men that are going on like a journey of self-discovery. Like something happened in the middle of their life that fundamentally changed like what they were doing, and now they're going on a journey of some variety. That seems to be my kind of go-to. I don't know why, but I mean, I'm having a load of fun playing off this character. I like the fact that because of this, it's sort of like we're doing like the beginner's box. Which then, if we're into it and we still want to play more, we'll then move on to the a module that's set in there as well that I've forgotten the name of. Right, we'll take this. So like the idea of us being set in a town does appeal to me a bit more, because I'm like, okay, I know that I can sort of like get to know the NPCs and stuff and like have a bit of a rapport with them. You know? At least I think that would be it kind of makes sense to do. We had a couple of close shaves though, so I'll tell you that much. But the healing in Pathfinder, I think it's one of those things that I'm not like, is a bit of like a culture shock for somebody that comes from D&D. Because a lot of the time you were able to just heal like very easily. Like it wasn't a huge problem. Hitting 3.0 the enemies. Nah, let's go. We're going perfect / build. Look at my flaming sword. But yeah, like it's one of those things where I'm just like, oh god, after like every fight we were able to like pretty reliably heal up to near enough full. And you get like the focus spells back after 10 minutes, so even if you're not healed, if you have spells, you can just go, okay, well I use this time to, you know, get my one focus spell back, and it's like you've gotten a spell slot back. It's a very specific spell slot, but it's still a spell slot, you know? So yeah, that was a bit of a culture shock, where like, oh, the fights are going to be a bit more down to the wire, because every blimmin' fight after the fact you can heal. Assuming you're not immediately sent into a fight, you know? And I did see that when I was watching Rock Grind. I guess I didn't know whether that was a them specific thing, you know? But playing an actual game of it, I found out that like the answer is like a yes, a tiny bit. Because I think one of them has taken a feat that made it so there's a much shorter cooldown when it came to the healing. Boom boom ba doo boo 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 ba doo boo boo. Fire rate is temporarily increased by 25% for 5 seconds after killing an enemy with blaze. Sure. Seeing as one of my actual abilities produces the blaze, that feels like a good idea. This is actually a kind of build that I don't think I've gone before. I mean, having shrapnel, obviously, I've realised a lot of people would be like, well, of course, this is like the basic mechanic of this game. But it took me a while to realise that effectively you need to take one of the horde clearing abilities, which are like piercing, shrapnel, and ricochet. And like, if you don't take one of those, you're kind of screwed because you will get overwhelmed. You got to think of every time I do like my one click and I kill like 5 of them. That would have been 5 I would have to kill individually. And sure, like, you may kill them in one shot with a lot of the powerful guns, but it's like, cool, you've killed one of them in one shot. Good shot, like trying to actually get away from them after. After like killing one of them and there still being like 4 other of them there. I've also started playing Pokemon Uranium a bit. We will go back to Pathfinder because I do have more stories, but speaking of like games I'm playing at the moment, I've been playing some Pokemon Uranium. It's one of those ones where it's like, it's so infamous as a game as being like the like fan game that everybody talks about because it got like cease and desisted by Nintendo. And I feel like I knew about that one before I really knew about like ROM hacks and stuff. And so I was giving it a go. It's fun. I actually feel like a couple of the games that have come after it that I've given a go that obviously are top quality, like 10 out of 10 games have like taken what uranium was and just made it that much more better, in my opinion. Like, they've improved on the formula, and it's one of those ones that I imagine is like, no, you don't understand. These were the first people to do X, or the first people to do Y. And there's a couple of modern conveniences that I wish they had in Pokemon Uranium. Like, they do the nice thing of giving you the XP share pretty early on, but I kind of wish it was an EXP share that gave it evenly to everybody, instead of just being an item I give to one person. And I know it's like, oh, but back in my day, it was just an item you gave to one person. And believe me, I know, because your back in my day was my back in my day. I've been around for as long as probably you have when it comes to Pokemon. But I'm like, come on, this is such a convenient thing that I actually think was like an actually good mechanic that everybody should just add into your game, because it means that like people like me, the people that haven't really get annoyed when I'm sitting here going like, I'm sitting there going, cool, I gotta train this guy now, I gotta train this guy now just to use them. It meant people like me didn't just use one guy. Because that's what we did. Or at least that's what I did. And that's what I'm leaning towards in Pokemon Uranium, even though there's literally a whole region full of Pokemon to like have a look at. A lot of the time it's just me using my starter to dominate through everything, because I can't easily get everybody to a reasonable level. Well, I can, it just takes annoying amounts of grinding, or switching an item over and over again. Hitting 3 enemies with Blaze to damage all of them, buff their damage taken by 40%. Sure. I just like anything that says, like, everything you kill, or like a certain amount of the things you kill hover your XP to you. Because it just means I don't have to walk around a ton more to, like, feeling like I'm missing half of the blimmin' XP. Because I've just walked away from it accidentally or something. God, there really is a huge advantage to this build over my wind-up builds, because I'm just sitting here just spamming the button. Setting an enemy on fire with a bullet has a 25% chance to inflict damage. Instantly inflict damage. Okay. So what does this go into? Every third enemy killed by fire will explode into flames. That's pretty good. Do you like how I don't even really have like a high level shrapnel? It doesn't really feel like you need it. It's definitely an improvement, but I don't think you need it anymore. Ow! I just assumed the bullet would disappear when it hits me, not be pushed back. Oh, they're probably coded as enemies. That would make some sense, but like enemies you can't hit, and then obviously when you take the upgrade where you can hit them. Every time you shoot, fire an extra bullet, there's a 100% chance to be charged round. Sure. It just gives me an extra attack. I mean, I'm sure it's lowering my fire rate by like something decent, but I just find fire rate to not be this like ability that I really care about a lot of the time. As long as I have decent fire rate, it's not a huge deal. Now, admittedly, a lot of the builds I've been doing recently have been the old wind up, and then you take the thing where like if you kill a condemned person, you instantly refresh your attack. which I guess does make it a bit easier. Ooh, that looks like I was about to get hit. I might have actually gotten hit there. But yeah, while I'm sitting here, actually, let me take a sip. Oh, that's nice. Nice little bit of lemonade. But yeah, Pokemon Uranium is okay, but it's not grabbing me as much as some of the others did. Now, it might be because my enthusiasm's down, but I just think I've just played all the really high standard stuff. And now this one's like high standard from like 10 years ago, which is still good, but not like the level of what it is now. It also doesn't have megas, which I really love. Mega evolutions are the best. Every fine game should add mega evolutions. It's so much better than any of the other mechanics. Screw blimmin' Terra type, screw Dynamax, screw everything. Give me blimmin' mega evolutions every time, without fail. Right. But yeah, going back to Pathfinder, there's this really funny joke that goes around in it. I don't know how actually funny it is, but I find it really funny, which is that we have a druid on our group, and the druid is like an air druid or like a storm druid, and so their anathema, which is like the thing that they absolutely can't do, which, side note, actively don't like as a mechanic. Like, things like, hey, druid, you can't use man-made technology. Screw that. I feel like you can be a druid and you could just be a farmer. Like a farmer for like just a regular farmer, and just, oh yeah, I'm a druid because I love my land and I take care of it and I don't abuse it, you know? Every 3 birds sounds because, yeah, this one seems fun. It works with our definite perfect strike build. But yeah, but yeah, he's an air druid and, well, a storm druid, and his anathema is like air pollution, and so we just keep joking that like if anyone lights a fire for like a campfire, he's just gonna be like, "How dare you!" and just instantly attack them. And I kept joking in the session, and I don't know, it fucking made me chuckle. The whole thing of like, you better not use a fire spell, or else it'll be on you. I don't know, I find it so funny. I think it made me realise how much I blimmin' missed TTRPGs. It's just because it's a really cool get together thing, right? It's like you're planning out a specific get together. It's effectively you going through a story that is to a certain extent custom made for you, and it's just like, it's so fun. Clone Sentry, why not? I never pick you. Worst case scenario, you just give me a strict buff to my damage. Holy damn. This Clone Sentry is blimmin' wrecking everything. Good on him. But yeah, there was so many good moments in it. So many moments where I'm just like, there's this running joke that, well, it's not even a running joke. It's sort of, it's just also true. That my character used to run the biggest tavern in this place, and it literally got broke down like the day before this adventure started. And so people keep going like, "Oh, what happened yesterday?" And he's like, "I know what happened yesterday." Just gets really sad, and I found that really, really funny as well. It just I was also messaging with my friends about this, but it just made me go like, kill an enemy in vision to increase stacks up to 5 times. Any kills outside of it will undo. Oh, well, I mean that's useless then, surely, because I'm always going to be then ricocheting killing stuff. These ones I never know if they're good. This one seems cool. Well, let's go shield build. But yeah, like, I don't know. I found it really, really funny. Any form of TTRPG at this point sounds fun. But I was joking with a friend like, oh, I wish we could have done more. We hit a really good stopping point though, because like it was the main beginner's box has like a 2-floor dungeon. Well, it might be more than 2-floor, but it's at least 2-floor, and like we got through the first floor, and it was like, okay, let's stop here. Like that's a perfect spot. That's really cool. I'm glad I got to see that actually. But there was a part of me that's just like, oh, but couldn't we go for like a bit longer? Because I was just having so much fun doing it. And now we've just got to wait another 2 weeks, which I understand. It's like people have scheduling stuff, you know, I'm not. And it is all regular. It's just I'm itching now to do more. And I'm just like, gotta wait another 2 weeks. What can you do? There is a load of characters that I want to give a try though, and a couple of classes that friggin' that. A couple of classes as well that aren't even in the basic book that I really want to give a try, and a couple that are in the basic book, obviously, honestly. Another thing I want to give a try, even more so now, is I saw that D&D came out with like a Unearthed Arcana for Artificer in the newest, with the newer rules. And there's the Armorer one, the one that makes armor, has now got one which is like a form that is like, hey, I just become huge. And I get like a ball and chain that I attack people with. And I don't know who thought ball and chain was the right idea to go with, but I love it. It's a fun idea. And it's actively made me want to try that one again, even though I already kind of wanted to try it anyway. But even more so now, I'm like, damn, this seems fun. Come on, how many times have I hit this thing? There. So you can see how powerful the GAUESS blimmin' katana is. Let me just have a nice clip. Slip. Yeah, I don't know why they gave her a form. I think they like having 3 forms for stuff. But they gave a form that's like, you increase in size, you get a chain, a ball and chain, and you're just able to hit people with it. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. That just sounds awesome, you know? So I do want to give that one a shot as well. God, there's so many things I want to play, but then I also really love my characters, which is always one of those things that just... You're sitting there and you're going, oh, what do I do? It's so weird though. When I'm normally playing, I am hyper like this, but I'm weirdly like, just before a game starts, I'll have this like lull of not really being into it for some reason. I don't understand it, because I'll be really hyped before it, and like 20-30 minutes into it, I'll be really into it. But in the first 30 minutes, I'm just in this lull of like not really as much getting into it. I don't know. It's weird. It could have just been yesterday. It could have just been last time, but I don't feel like it is. Okay, we're gonna use this again. I'm not picking an. I want to go into hard mode. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I think the hardest part of hard mode is the very start. When you get overwhelmed by these boys. Or gals. Or, I guess, genderless. But now that I know that I do more damage when I'm closer up, which has always been a thing, I just haven't figured it out. Yeah, let's take shock. I don't mind these. I don't like lightning bolt, weirdly. I like this one, but I don't like these ones. I don't like things that replace my existing weapon shot with a different weapon shot, because I actually find a lot of the time it is weaker than my normal shot. I like proximity marker, especially when you're using a melee weapon, because that's almost just like what length do they have to be for me to be hitting them with perfect strikes. It's almost like it's helping me in a weird way. Ooh, damn, they took a lot of hits. Ooh. We're gonna need some damage buffs soon. I mean, this is pretty damage buffy. But it's not good enough. No, we need... What do we need? I don't... Whatever we need, it's not there. I mean, this is good. This is good as well. That does more damage. Because it doesn't feel like the extra projectiles actually, like, separate in any way. You know how, like, if you're using a piercing weapon, you actually find that the way they split it means that you actually don't want the piercing weapon, weirdly. You don't want the 2-shot, you're fine with the 3-shot. A lot of the time. At least I find it a lot of the time. Listen, I know you're a cute cat. Yeah, this is better. I love taking shrapnel and seeing how it changes. I think a ricochet one is also really good. I just don't pick it as much because... Well, I won't be picking it with this because this doesn't ricochet for some reason. I always wonder, like, what was the balancing problems with it ricocheting? Was it just that... Like, why ricochet was that the scariest one? God, I'm so looking forward to... This reminded me, speaking of Ricochet, even though he's not in this company anymore, I'm really looking forward to WWE actually moving to them moving to Netflix. I'm so looking forward to it because it means that I can watch, like, the day-to-day of at least Raw. I don't know if SmackDown's moving as well, but the day-to-day of it, like, I can watch it now regularly, whereas before I couldn't. Because it was on, like, the USA Network, and I didn't really know what the USA Network was. Or how I could get it. And I'm not paying, like, a subscription service just for, like, exclusively for the day-to-day of WWE. And then also having to pay for the, like, the pay-per-views and stuff, you know? So I'm so happy. You know, can I move this closer? So that, like, even when I'm leaning back, I'm not horrendous. Yeah, I think I can, actually. That's not too bad. At least I think it's not too bad. I've got no idea how it actually sounds. I probably should add in the thing where you can hear yourself back, but it always messes with my brain, and definitely not today because my brain's not 100%. I'm running a bit on fumes. I think, I don't know if that will there'll be people shouting at the screen about that, but I just don't particularly like the lightning one. You know what I've been debating, and I may get a load of flack from people for saying this, but I've been debating, like, do I give Hogwarts Legacy a try? Like, is it a good game that gets mired by the fact that the person that, like, that made the world is an absolutely shitty person? And like, maybe can you just, like, ignore that bit? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever do it on stream because, I mean, there's been people that have been absolutely destroyed for back in its heyday for playing that, and I just don't think I could deal with the hate I'd get. I'm like, I know they'll always like, oh, but no press is bad press. It's like, I don't think I just want to deal with bad, like, horrendous people in the chat. It would just be such a hassle to effectively ban all of them. And I'm not just, I don't know. Maybe I'm going too badly into this kind of stuff and I should stop talking about it. But yeah, I don't know, it feels like one of those ones I've missed out on. Because I've been looking at RPGs just to figure out if there's a particular one I want to play after Baldur's Gate. Because, you know, it feels like we're getting to the end game threats, you know? At least for me, it feels like you are. There's a part of me that's just like, do you just play Baldur's Gate again? But, like, I probably shouldn't. Like, that's not good content. I think it'd be fun, but I don't think it'd be good content, you know? I don't think we'll take Burning Slash. We took that one before. Hitting 3 enemies with a single slash temporarily. We're gonna take this. Because I don't know if that counts. It seems to count. Oh, that killed 3 people. That killed 3 people. That killed 3 people. That killed 3 people. Oh, I just realized what the electrics does. Everyone that's electrified gets hit when I hit one of the electrified people. I mean, I'm sure it literally said that. And in fact, I'm pretty sure I read that out. But that's beside the point. I've now, like, in my head, realized what it is. Killing an enemy will instantly destroy all projectiles they've fired. That's the kind of thing I want. Look, what's the one thing I always get hit by? Is it like the monsters? No, it's always the blimmin' projectiles. Even though they're bright red and they're coming at my screen, like, pretty slowly. Maybe this is one of the reasons why I was less into 20 minutes until dawn after a bit. Because I'm absolutely horrendous at dodging attacks. And they actually have fast attacks in that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick up stuff that I haven't used before. And I haven't really gone 100% down the proximity one. Or if I have, it's been at the end of a build where I've already done like infinite other stuff. And so it's really hard to see the effect of going down the proximity. God, the other day I was watching somebody reviewing the first generation Pokemon, but like just reviewing how good they are, and actually like in the first game, and I was just like, God, how the heck you sit down and go, I know what I want to do as a video, review like 150 something different Pokemon and how they're useful and stuff, and you're like, that must have taken ages. Who in their right mind would have gone like, that feels like a completely normal thing to do? I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fun. It was good. But like, I watched it to condense what would be like hours and hours and hours and hours of like hard work into like half an hour. Feels like an insane undertaking that I don't think I could ever do. And I don't think I'd like, it's gonna sound weird, I don't think I'd ever be satisfied with the amount of people watching it. If I've done that kind of effect, I want it to be like infinite people watched it. Just to sort of like be like gratifying, you know? But obviously, like, realistically, especially, this was a big, like, YouTuber that did this, right? Realistically, if someone like me did it, it would get, like 3 views, maybe? It's insane. It's insane. I'm always envious of these people that can not only come up with these insane ideas that I just don't think I'd even think of, but then to like go through the time and effort to make the video, and then to have the video get like 50 views. I feel like I'd just be devastated. So I'm always just so impressed when I hear about people that have done that. Shooting an enemy will revealed in light will slow them down. Sure. I don't actually shoot a ton of enemies that are revealed in the light. I don't think this was a buff. I took the thing that increases my damage equal to how many enemies are in the proximity marker. Problem is, I feel like I shoot as soon as there's one enemy in the proximity marker. So does it just give me that was just a 5% boost? I'm sorry, I am moving around a lot, Safi. I'm sure you're like, I'm sure you're getting annoyed, but it's kind of impossible not to. See, this one I never like. Cone Maker. When Cone Vision is active, we get a small cone. Like, that's cool and all, but like, I don't use Cone Vision after like the initial area. Is that weird? I wonder if that is. If people have played this game before, I'd love to know if like you regularly switch between them, or whether you're like me who just like uses the Cone Vision early on to find enemies, and then as soon as it gets to the point where you never really have to find enemies because there's so many coming towards you, I just go like, I'm done. I don't need to use the cone vision at all. And so I've never gone down like the cone vision increasing upgrade tree. Because like, why would I ever? It's like it's useless to me. Oh yeah, let's do that. I like it. It's fire electricity, wildfire electricity. That's kind of cool. I did that thing when it came to the sort of like the Steam sale, where it was on until like the 2nd of January, right? And I was just sort of sitting there going, probably should get something in the sale because I'll probably just get it later for more expensive. If I got it now, it'd be at least a little bit cheaper, even if I'm not going to play it immediately. And then I just sat there and I just put it off and I put it off and I didn't buy anything again. Which is, like, you'd think, oh, that's a good thing, right? Well, yeah, it is a good thing. But I know I'm going to buy some of these things. It's just, I'm going to be buying them later now and they'll be full price. Fire rate is temporarily increased by 5% for each enemy damaged by wildfire explosion. Let's have a quick look at these. I like these. Also, I was thinking about this the other day. More like worlds should have wizards with guns. Using like a gun as like a magical, I guess like catalyst is so cool. More people should do it. I want people shooting lightning out of guns and shooting fireballs out of guns. Casting Meteor Storm out of a gun. It just sounds so cool. Do 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 do. Right, what do I want next? I guess this is the only one I haven't done, but I don't like it. I could take Spinny Boy, or I could take Left Right Boy. I don't like this one. We've seen this one. I think I like Trinity the most. Let's go for Trinity. In reference to one of the best movies ever. Blimmin' Matrix. Boom boom. You know what I think I need to get back into, and I may be, this may be a problem, and it may be wrong, and like, there might not be actually any good blimmin' media for it at the moment, but I kind of want to get back into like watching Marvel stuff. Like, I don't think it's gonna. I haven't heard anything that's been like, oh, they're having a renaissance, they're back to their like their peak or anything. But I kind of want to. I just kind of want to like what's the word? I kind of want to prepare myself for the one I'm definitely gonna watch, which I think is called Secret War or something. It's the blimmin' the one that's gonna have Robert Downey Jr. in it, because I loved him as Iron Man, and it's gonna make me watch Marvel again, and I kind of just want to know what's happening, and so I feel like I want to get back into it, but maybe I don't need to know what's happening. maybe I'm coming at this the wrong way, and maybe it's like, I don't, if I need to put all that work in to know what's happening, maybe it's not worth it kind of thing. I don't know. I was just thinking about it the other day, and like, I saw this like short that was talking about the idea of like every like major, like, you know, your Iron Man, your Captain America, your blimmin' Black Widow, all of them coming back as just like evil versions of themselves, and them being the main villains would have been is such a cool idea that I don't think they'll ever do. I don't think it's an idea that'll ever actually have anything happen, but killing it, no, we're taking this one because it damage multipliers and slow rates caused by proximity marker is doubled for enemies located in both the circle. Yeah, cool. If you're in my circle, you're void. I've been seeing some clips from that What If series, and there's parts of it that really interest me. Like the idea of blimmin' like a Storm Thor. Such a cool idea. So like, what if Storm but Thor? So she's just wielding Mjolnir. I thought that would be that. I think that's really, really cool. I mean, there was a fair amount of the early what ifs that I really, really liked. Like the zombie one was really cool, and like the whole idea with Doctor Strange. I just never got into like the second season, and then the third season's come out, and I've heard mixed things about it, but I sort of want to give it my own shot because there's been a couple of shows that people have been like, oh, this is the worst thing ever, and then I've actually given it a shot, and then I've been like, this isn't that bad. Like, it's not great, but if you come at it as like just a piece of fun, not that bad. Hold on, I need to scratch my nose. Like, okay, take this for example. I watched the first season of Rings of Power, and I was like, this isn't horrendous. I wasn't like, this is good, but I was like, this isn't horrendous. Like, I'm having fun watching this, even if it is just mostly me laughing at this at stuff that's happening in it. And honestly, I see. Look, there's some like merit to a TV series or a set of movies that are all just about like they're just so bad that they're good kind of thing, you know? And maybe that's where like Rings of Power sort of sat with me, is that they're so bad it's good kind of camp. I never got into the season 2 though. I think the thing that got me was the I don't know, I watched a couple of the episodes and it just didn't get me as much. I don't know what to say. I've increased my damage. And also took another upgrade that I didn't actually look at. But 20% extra damage does actually do something. Do. Is there something functionally different about the bigger shots? It feels like they can't be like manipulated as much. Like you can't destroy them as much or something. Like, it makes me wonder, are the crescent moons any different? They don't feel any different. God, my nose is absolutely itchy. I'm sorry. You don't want to watch this. Shooting enemies revealed in your light will slow them down. Maybe. Shrapnel projectiles which kill enemies create additional projectiles. I think that will go insane. But this gives me melee damage, so I'm picking this up. Look at the melee damage. I really need to increase my ability to see. I'm not even getting perfect strikes really anymore. Do you reckon there is like a challenge which is just like don't move challenge? Which I guess hinges on you just getting enough damage so that you don't need to move early on. Like it feels like early one's like the make or break, but I guess you kind of want that to be the make or break. Early on at the very end feel like the places you want your like make or break situations. Because early on, then you can just reset and it doesn't feel bad. And if it's really late, well, you want the final bit to be the challenging bit, right? God, I only just thought of that. Of like that. Obviously, that's where you want the big things to be. God, I saw some people getting annoyed that Arcane didn't get like best adaptation, and then people pointing out. I think this was the funniest thing I saw recently. Was like people pointing out. It's like, mate, they had to like redo and make like a bunch of characters' stories to make them remotely interesting, and it actively did not bring people to want to play League of Legends. Probably because all the people that would have given it a try did when Season 1 came out, realised it wasn't for them when the 7th blimmin' Russian guy was shouting down at them, or like 15-year-old child was saying like horrendous things to him. They were just like, you know what, this isn't for me. The show's great, but this isn't for me. And goddamn was that show great. Show of the year by like a long shot, in my opinion. I don't even think I've finished Fallout, which was the winner of the adaptation thing, so I do need to give that a shot. I watched like the first couple episodes. And I think I liked 2 of the characters. I just didn't really like the Brotherhood of Steel guy. Don't know why. He just came across as a bit whiny. Which might literally be his character. And like maybe the whole point of the story is that he gets over that and actually becomes a proper like hero of the people instead of just what he wants to be or something. But it just put me off of it. This thing takes a lot more damage than I expected. Oh, got one of them. I got 2. Now the others I haven't hit as much because they were only getting hit occasionally when I was hitting that main one. You know what else I need to give a try? Which this has just become, hey, let's talk about things I want to give a try. I need to try out, oh, what's it called? There was like this RPG that came out that was like, what if Renaissance people taking, what if like colonialism, but magic and plague, killing magic plague? And like the natives had a way of fighting back that was like tree spirits ? I forget what it was, but I know it was on the Game Pass, and I gave it a shot, and I just didn't 100% get into it, but like, the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, maybe I should give it another shot. Play maybe a different class that maybe is a bit better. Come on. Stop shooting. Oh, look at that. Oh, you can't see it, but I scored 3 million. I got an achievement that was score 3 million. What happens if you do continue? Does it just keep going? Like forever? Like, I wonder if I can get a proper higher score on this. Why wasn't I doing this the whole time? Spamming the... Even though I get a bonus for being in proximity, spamming the button is 100% a better option. Oh, my XP is not going up quickly anymore, is it? Also, these things start to take multiple shots to kill. I'm guessing this is when they're like, okay, your build is good enough to get here, but how long can this build go for? I don't see the point in these things. They don't seem that strong, and they don't seem that slow. That fast. Is the logic that they split into two pieces, and if you don't kill one piece, the other it comes back? I don't know. It feels like it, right? God, I so want to see the whole screen lit up. So I really want to get that shield to like its max level. But shield's not my thing. I like taking the initial shield because it's just a regenerating 1 health for a tiny debuff to my movement speed. Which 100% I would have died many times over if I didn't have. Come on. The thing is, I'm picking up every bit of XP. They just don't give XP anymore. Do we pick up this? Or do we pick up this? We don't need to do that one. We'll do this one. It just means the next shot I do after I do kill something with fire is like a bunch more powerful, which means I can keep killing. Okay, so level 40 didn't give me another one of the weapon upgrades. I think, you know what, I think that's like my favorite thing that some bullet heavens do. Is the weapon specific upgrades. Because it actually means that after the initial hump of like, okay, I've picked this weapon because it shoots this type of attack. It actually means that there's more to the actual weapon. You know? So like, for example, this one, if I was just using a basic like katana, like the dual katana one, it's like I'd get this slice, but the slice wouldn't have the perfect strike, and the perfect strike wouldn't extend my range, and like, you know, it's little things like that I'm like, oh, this makes this weapon actually feel unique, instead of just I'm picking this weapon for what my bullet will be, you know? Tell you what, speaking of weapons though, going back and using some of the older weapons, I don't understand why I'd ever use a pistol. I'm guessing I haven't looked, but maybe the pistol like upgrades are different. But the pistol is just, It's just middle of the road. Like, I guess you can specialize easier. The more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm like, okay, that's why you specialize more, right? Give me a second. But still, it just never feels good. Damn, the damage boost wasn't enough to one-shot these things. Do you reckon we'll get to another boss? Like, in this endless mode, are there more bosses that are unique? Or is it just going to be like a boss we fought before, but with like 20 times the amount of health? Like, that would be my guess. Do you like how my attack speed goes like, oh, it's really bad, and then I suddenly start killing stuff and it goes suddenly speeds up. God, I do think it's kind of underrated, the projectile deflection, or at least the projectile destruction. Because it just means that you get rid of like these annoying attacks that limit your movement. God, I do think, you know what else is really cool? Is watching somebody actively improve. Like, if you look at this weapon and you compare it to the earlier weapons, not just like the concept of it is cooler, like, because obviously you want the basic weapons, and then after the basic weapons you can add the more complex ones, but like the abilities that you get, the weapon skills and stuff are more interesting. The animations are more than there's a more of an animation to them. Overall it just feels better. Although with some of the buffs, like the tiny buffs you get, you'd have to tell me. I wouldn't believe you if you said like, yeah, I'm actually getting, like, this has gotten any bigger. Because it doesn't seem like the light has gotten any bigger. It's supposed to have gone up by like 10%. And the marker's also got to take like 40% of the buffs as well. But, I mean, it looks slightly bigger than how it originally started, but like not that much. God, this is fun. Is it just endless amounts of these guys, the snail boys, and like the occasional shooter that doesn't really shoot that much? Cause I'd be fine with that. I think there's things I was scared about you're not summoning anymore, which are the runners, the star runners. I don't know. That guy. They're the things that scare me, because they run fast. Especially when my cone, like my circle was like nothing. The other day I was thinking about how, like, whether I should choose to get to like find a niche of some kind, so that like people aren't joining my stream, following and going, oh cool, I like what you're doing now, what kind of stuff do you do? And then me going like, yeah, I do like a bunch of random stuff, and it putting people off. And then I had to remind myself for like the millionth time, screw that, that's not what you'd want to do. That'd be lessering how much fun you'd be having. Just play what you want, you know? if they're coming for the game, they're gonna be like, and they're like, and they won't stay for you. And they probably won't gonna properly stay anyway. You gotta think about all like the people that are making a career out of it. They're not making a career out of it because the people just want to watch the game. That unless they're incredibly good at the game, they're watching it for the personality, right? I guess I'm not getting all the XP of everything I kill. I thought I was. I thought I'd effectively gotten to a point where I'd stacked enough things that like were on kill, give the XP to the big man, that I was just getting every bit of XP. But maybe, I guess maybe if I don't get shock on them, they don't. I've realized that I realized I really like abilities that are relating to me, like defeating like vast like amounts of people, right? So like chain lightning is all about destroying a load of people, like shrapnel in this game, all about like dealing with a load of people. Ricochet, all about, they're all my favorite like abilities. Circle slows them down. Things outside the circle get done in. No. Cloned sentry. Enemies touched by wildfire are set on fire. That just slows them down. But it ups the wildfire damage by 70%. We have to do that. I don't know how much of my kills are wildfire. That's annoying. There's a part of me that really wishes that whoever owns this fucking free viewer thing, I just want your website to be down. I just don't want you. I want you to have a small series of like slight inconveniences that are really bad luck, that are stuff you can pretty easily deal with, but generally are annoyances to the point of like you have to spend a couple minutes on them. That's what I want on you. That's the plague I put on you. I'm playing Disfigure. It's not even like on a popular Twitch category. I'd ban you, but I just don't have the, it's too much of an effort and nobody cares. And it doesn't matter, because every time you send one of those, it's been a different blimmin' username. This one's actually a actual name, which is surprising. I normally expect the bots to have a name that's like DGFF439223456722274, you know? And it'll be more random than that, because I used 4 too much in that for it to truly be random. Okay, there has to be an upper limit to this. Come on. Okay, we stop when we hit 60,000, right? Wait, 600,000. It could be either. I don't know numbers. Piercing doesn't really matter because I feel like I already pierce. I could be wrong. Is there any of these I actually care about? No, no. Maybe this. Yeah, I'll take it. It's a bit more of an AoE that goes on around me. It's like a last line of defense in case something bad happens. But yeah, we're gonna hit that blimmin' 600,000 or whatever it is, 60,000 soon. Boop 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 boop. Wow, I was just sitting there and they weren't even attacking me. Okay, we've hit it. Screw this. We're dying. You see, this saying boss kills 3 kind of makes me assume that there's more than 3 boss kills. Do we want to do another one? Do you want to... You know what? Let's try basic pistol. Let's see how bad it actually is. We'll go on like... No, we'll go on like... normal stage 2. I instinctively went to reload it. That's on me. What do we want to take? Ricochet, 100%. Ricochet just increases our damage and it's really fun to watch. Killing an enemy with a single shot has a 100% chance to ricochet. I mean, I'm not going to be killing anything with a single shot. But it ups my damage as well. All I'm saying is Ricochet is like shooting an extra projectile, except you don't have to pay the debuff. And in fact, they buff you. None of these are fun. Yeah, sure. General buff. I do like how they hold it. It's a pretty dynamic pose. Obviously, it is like the... I guess it's called like the gangster like sort of stance of holding it sideways, but it's fun to see it done from top down. Bullet speed. I think I just nerfed myself there. Proximity I don't think proximity is worth at the moment. I don't think I'll be killing with that. Do I take shrapnel as well? What happens if you just take all of them? Shrapnel, piercing, ricochet. Just I shoot a bullet and it turns into everything. Do 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 do. Frickety frackety frick. Okay, this is not the pistol's fault, in fairness. This is a me fault. I'm too used to insta-killing stuff. Even early on, like insta-killing stuff. We're taking the shield so that we have a chance. By that attack, I should be able to dodge that easily. Maybe I was just getting cocky and trying to go through the middle. Thinking that shows that I'm insane or something. What's this? Enemies hit by a bullet are slowed down by 50% for a second. Slow doesn't feel that good. Fire rate does, though. It's not a huge fire rate buff. But I feel like if I can't focus damage, what do you focus? You focus fire rate, right? That's my kind of thinking, is I always focus one of the two. I guess you can focus both, but it doesn't feel like it does well, because a lot of one will counter the other, you know? Wind up strike is useless. I'll take charge round. I know I just said I'll focus fire rate and then I took charge round, but we do still need damage, and charge round does add a bit of damage to us. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Is this good? I think with the fact that I've got to realize that I won't kill everything in one shot means I guess that anything that cares about like a damage over time is good. I'm normally a damage over time connoisseur in games, but less so in this, where speed is the king. I just feel like everything debuffs fire rate. But you want to take them, because this buffs all the damage that my shrapnel does. Which means shrapnel might kill something that it wouldn't normally kill. You know? Do 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 do. Enemies are I'm shooting outside of those. Killing enemy will spawn a laser. The laser will rotate towards. I'm not good with the rotating. Damaging enemies with a charge round will spawn temporary vision, and it also increases my charge round. Yeah, why not? You can get it to like a 50% shot. Oh, I'm just thinking. I'm sorry. It's become one of those things now. Maybe it's because my brain isn't working on 100%. Because I'm obviously fighting something off. But I just thought of another game that I need to give a try at some point. I need to try out Wasteland 3 again. That game felt like this interesting sort of Borderlands-y kind of game. But like a bit more dark. That really felt up my alley, and I just didn't play a load of it. Do 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 do. Every time a bullet damages an enemy, it has a chance to become a charged round. Sure. I don't really understand that. Like it retroactively can become a charged round? Or like the bullet bounces off and becomes a charged round? Either way, I don't really understand it, but I think I'm notably getting stronger. I'm doing well, I think. I wonder at which points they up the health in this game. I'd love to see like what's happening in the back end at some point. Sorry, I'm surprising myself at how good this is going, but I'm in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking about like, oh, but like what that happening. In the back of my mind, I was thinking about that happening. Because I don't know what to do. Is there like a... Okay, let me have a look at these abilities. Because we don't have a time for another... We don't have a time for another round. So let's have a look at these. Okay, so there are 2 normal ones. This one I didn't rate. Enemies hit by a bullet are permanently illuminated with a vision circle. Not bad. Every 3rd bullet does more damage. Every 5 seconds, fire rate, bullet speed, and size are increased by 50% for 3 seconds. Okay, that'd be interesting. Enemies revealed in cone vision will be frozen after a second. Nope. Bullet damage is temporarily increased by 2% for each shot landed on an enemy. Okay. Temporarily, but like how long's temporarily? Ooh, I like that one. I like that one a lot. Let me have a look at the shotgun. I think I always pick double barrel, but I kind of want to... I feel like this one would be fun. Like this, and then like this. Just have a one-shot super shot. That's a fire build. And then this one's just oh, I do like shotgun because you can go all in on just like a bunch of shots, or just like all in on one shot. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here. It's a little less than 9. We've only done 1 hour and 58, but I don't want to just start another run, and I feel like I'm just stalling for time there. Let me have a look at the leaderboard. Where am I? Am I there? I don't see me. But I was around here. I think I hit like 6,000, so I'm like here? Around this, around the 7,000, 8,000 mark, and then global, that's just a limit. When does it... Okay, so there's only like 31 people that have actually hit the limit in this game. And one of them's literally 2013 David66. I've got a feeling I know exactly how old that person is. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I'll see you on Wednesday for Baldur's Gate. I will see you on Friday for some Final Fantasy 14. But until then, bye-bye. Have a good day. Have a good week. Have a good year.